So the year is 1941, Norbs, one of the great years of baseball history. Because that year we had a streak that we never and probably never will see broken again. It's Joe DiMaggio's 56-game hitting streak, and that year he won the MVP in the AL over another great Ted Williams who hit 400. You hit 400 and you lose the MVP. Obviously, the guy had to do something great. So you touch on that, and I'll get to the NL MVP afterwards.
Well, as you said, George, Joe DiMaggio of the New York Yankees won the AL MVP that year. He probably had the greatest season of his life. He hit 357, 30 home runs, 125 RBIs, 440 on-base percentage, slugging percentage of 643, 193 hits and 122 runs. It is the year that he hit his iconic 56-game hitting streak, which is a record that still stands today and possibly will never be broken. And on top of that, the Yankees won the World Series that year, defeating the Brooklyn Dodgers 4-1. And the AL MVP runner-up was another great prolific hitter, Hall of Famer Ted Williams of the Boston Red Sox. He led the league in batting average that year with 406, one of the years that he hit over 400, 37 homers, 120 RBIs. 553 on-base percentage and a slugging percentage of 735. Well, not only he was a runner-up, but the Red Sox were also runners-up that year behind the New York Yankees for first place. They finished 17 games behind. As you know, Ted Williams would play one more full season in 1942 and then served the next 3 years thereafter, serving in World War II.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I mean, that was a...
Yeah, this duel.
That was a hell of a season, like between the two of them. And I don't think we've ever seen a duel like that. Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, two legendary Hall of Famers. Although the voting may have been like very difficult to process.
You think?
Yeah, definitely. Their performance did not disappoint at all. And
all those Boston writers are trying to figure out: do I vote for a Yankee, or are the Yankees going? Do I vote for Ted Williams? What do I do? Oh, hell's gonna break loose.
It was a classic, like voting between a Yankee and a Red Sox, to say the least. And speaking of writing, author Robert Kramer even wrote a book about the year titled "Baseball in '41," a celebration of the best baseball season ever. So
nice.
Quite a year.
on the opposite side, it wasn't the most dramatic of NL MVP. You had the AL had two feature Hall of Famers. The NL, unfortunately, had two Brooklyn Dodgers going at it for.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! So the MVP went to. Oh my god! Like who was it? Like he beat Dolph Camilli, won the MVP that year. He was the first baseman for the Dodgers. He beat out two of his teammates who finished second and third. I've never seen anything like this. Like, was the NL that bad that year? Like, what's going on here? Like, they finished about first by 2.5 games over the Cardinals, and they ended up losing to DiMaggio's Yankees in the World Series. So they were a good team, but they barely won the NL that year. But Dolph led the league in home runs and RBIs, but he also led the league in strikeouts, which is kind of odd for a home run hitter. He didn't bat. He ended up batting 300 that year. It's also unusual for MVPs. They're usually pretty high in the batting average. But the Dodgers lineup was practically like all-star. Like they averaged 5.1 runs per game. Like that's crazy. But Dolph, not to be confused with Dolph Ziggler, the only other famous Dolph.
Did he show the world what he was made of?
No, he showed the world that he has twice as many errors as a runner-up that year. he played first base and he had twice as many errors as the runner-up, which was Pete Reiser. Pete Reiser was the outfielder and third baseman for the Dodgers. There was a lot of articles written about Pete Reiser as being one of the greatest, actually one of the greatest all players that no one ever heard of. But he was kind of like Mickey Mantle. He's very reckless, like in his playing. Like he played hard nosed, so he got hurt a lot and stuff like that. But listen to this, like I gave you the stats for Dolph, which weren't very impressive. All he led the league was in home runs and RBIs. But this guy Pete led the league in runs, doubles, triples, batting average, slugging, OPS, total bases, and he was hit by a pitch 11 times. This guy was also the first rookie and the youngest player ever to win the NL batting title. He was way more valuable than Dolph because of his ability to get on base. Like he could stretch doubles into triples, singles into doubles. He must have been a pretty good gap hitter to get that many triples and doubles in a year. His numbers were closer, a lot closer aside from home runs and RBIs. Like, he didn't have that many. But, I mean, he's almost a full point higher in WAR. So I call this completely foul. I mean, Pete Reiser should have been the MVP that year, hands down. And I guess you think it's fair for DiMaggio to win, even though that was also a tight race. But, I mean, right? Like, would you say it was fair for DiMaggio to be MVP, despite not hitting 400?
Well, you know what? I truly believe that it seems fair. 56 game hitting streak is incredible. It's the longest hitting streak. He made a record there, and also the Yankees won the World Series, so it seems fair. Ted Williams was a close second, but yeah, definitely it was very difficult. I'm pretty sure it was a very difficult vote for anyone in that situation. So let's
Joe DiMaggio. Let's hope we get something as exciting once we get to the 1950s next time.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave your comments below.